running a business is a tough and lonely journey. Welcome to the Executives on the Frontlines Podcast, where business owners and C-suite executives like you will get real answers to your everyday business problems. I'm your host, Jeff Palacio, and together we will learn from senior leaders who have occupied every top box of a company's org chart for every size organization and who like to roll up their sleeves while checking their egos at the door. Welcome to another episode of Executives on the Frontlines Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Palacio, and I'm very excited today because we're going to do a very short version of the podcast. We're going to call it Quick Huddle. We're going to answer common questions from our guests. So my co-host is Baron Lukas, and Baron, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to talk today about leadership development. So Baron, we received this question in multiple different forms from our clients. How can we develop a pipeline of strong leaders within the organization?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Great question, and it is a common one. 3 steps I think are required, at least need to be considered. The first one is the hiring process needs to involve hiring for leadership potential in a deliberate fashion. And the way to do that is to take a look at the candidate and see if he or she is capable of advancing over a period of time 2 levels above the position he or she is being considered for. So if you're hiring a sales rep, and then next level is sales manager, next level is regional sales manager, does that person have the capacity, intellect, integrity, drive to be 2 levels above? And if that's the case, you're probably hiring a future leader. Second thing is walking around your organization. If you're in the C-suite, or at least at the VP level, identify leaders in your organization at all levels. Identify them, talk to HR, and when everybody's on the same page, tell them they're being identified as a leader. Hey, Jeff, you look like you're going to be one of our leaders sometime. And then make sure that they want to be a leader. Not everybody wants to be in the head office, so just kind of be cognizant of that. But if they say, yes, my hand's up, let me be a leader, then establish a training program, a career path that they know about, that they can identify what the next step is. What do I have to do to get to this leadership position? And you got it made in that case. And then thirdly is, and I've done this with a number of companies, is develop a company-wide mentorship program where each supervisor has a short monthly mentorship meeting with all their direct reports. 15 minutes, a set agenda where we discuss performance, discuss KPIs, discuss progress, but also identify those people that are hungry for more, and then provide feedback. And then it's a closed loop. You've just identified a leader, and go with the training program, go with the career path, and now you've got 3 steps: hiring the right people, identifying the people that you've already hired, and then mentoring. Everybody in the company ought to have a mentor in this direct reports mentoring program. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, no, I love that approach. A couple things from my experience. So I was in the early days of Sprint, now T-Mobile. The company was about 18 months old, and when I joined. And what they did, and I've always done this, you need to, just like you have annual objectives and quarterly objectives, in terms of, and most times it's, salaried employees, their bonuses is based on achievement of that. And usually it's a mix of personal goals, organizational goals, and company goals. But you need to develop a personal development plan for each employee. And again,
Absolutely.
it's gonna differ, because you're right, not everyone's going to be a leader. Every salesperson you interview, it's fine if they never are just if they stay a salesperson, because that you need that. And like you said, a lot of people don't want to, have people under them. And a lot of times individual salespeople make more than the person they work for without the headaches. But so I like the hiring. And I think, what was your second point about
identifying if you've already hired somebody, keep a look at it. I call it leadership by walking around, right?
Yeah.
So if in my lab position, you just walk around, you identify, hey, Jeff's doing a great job. He's always helping other people. Let's talk to him about leadership.
Yeah.
Do that deliberately.
Yeah, and I think that's those opportunities, and there should be budget for leadership development or even
Absolutely.
growth of individual contributors. But it's very key to budget. And I think it's a 51% or more on the individual, and the rest goes to the person they work for,
Concur.
because you need to take control of your own personal development, but the leader plays a key role in that, and it's allowing the person to do it, identifying, you know, picking the right internal mentor. And I love the formal approach that you mentioned, you know, where somebody's assigned, but also, somebody is a market research manager and does a phenomenal job at, in, a one-on-one meeting, they identified, like, I really would like to explore being a brand manager. That's when you say, okay, why don't you set up lunch with so and so and so and so and so and find out what it's like to be a brand manager. And maybe you
Absolutely.
can even get a small project to help them, and kind of trial by fire type thing, and see if you really like it. So I think that's just important. So yeah, so I
Concur.
love the topic. We'll be back with another episode of the Quick Huddle sometime soon. Thanks, Baron. Have a great day.
Take care, Jeff. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this Quick Huddle episode of Executives on the Front Lines. If you are a CXO or business owner and would like your question answered in a future Quick Huddle, you can reach out to Baron Lukas or Jeff Palaccio on LinkedIn. See episode description for details.